Thank you very much, Sampo. Thank you, everyone, for coming over. Very, very excited to be here in Helsinki. First official time over. I would also like to thank the organizers for having us here. We'll wait a little bit. There we go. I would also like to thank one of our investors, which is Nokia Growth Partners, that they believe in our company. And with no further ado, my name is Mackenzie Torres. I'm the CMO for Moovit. I'm based in San Francisco, California. And I'll try to be as much interactive as possible with all of you guys. I can see that some of you are already with your computers sending emails back and forth. But my first question, and I cannot see people very well, but who's got Moovit in their phones? OK, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 120. Great, a lot of people. So I don't need to talk much. I'm going to talk a little bit today about how we use at Moovit the model of communities and how we scale all around the world and how we also manage to build smart cities with all the information that we get from users. This is the reality of the situation. Currently, worldwide, we got approximately 8 billion human beings living in this lovely world. The number of cars is growing and growing, is 900 million cars, according to some estimates. But public transportation is still important. Public transportation is something that users are using even more. And also, just as a data point, 75% of the population in 2025, according to the United Nations, is going to live in urban areas. So the need of public transportation is always going to be there. This is also some stats that we gather from our more than 30 million users that we have worldwide. So according to stats, and all these data points that I'm giving you is just to try to make you understand why we exist as a company, is people say that there are approximately more than 12 days a year on a bus. 12 days, that's a long time. So commuting is important, commuting is a factor, and commuting really happens. Another thing to consider, and we've all been in this situation, don't tell me that you've not. I mean, when you're waiting for the bus, or when you're waiting for any type of public transportation, the feeling that you get is that you're waiting more and more and more. And that, according to some surveys, and there's some results that we got, is people think that they wait 30% more time. We got some cities like in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil that people say that they wait 125 minutes during the day. That's a bit too much. But the key thing here is, how do we solve this issue? How do we solve the situation of people not needing or not wanting to waste their time waiting? This is where we as a company, Moovit, we launched in 2012. This is what we try to advocate. We aggregate all different data sources available in a local area. When I say local area, it's a city. Let's say the city of Helsinki, that we have the product available, for instance. So we got the possibility of combining all the official data from all the local transit authorities using open data. And what we do is, that official data, we perfect it. We make it a little bit better with the feedback that we get from the users. That's what we call, and you guys may be also familiar with some of the models that we're going to be talking today, is what's called crowdsourcing. And imagine this like a wedding cake, like a layer cake. So you've got this official data, you've got the community data, all the feedback that people give through their phones, reports, incidents, or active through the GPS. And then you also got the notifications and alerts that we can also make people available. And that's how we make our product, and that's how we make our data in all the cities that we have available. There's also a magic that we try to do with our product. We are very different in terms of how we want to interact with our users. Like, there are some cities in the world that this official public data is not readily available. Our colleague Deepak, he's from Bangalore, and I was just chatting to him, and he was telling me, well, you guys launched 2 weeks ago. Yes. And did you have official data? Was there open data in Bangalore? No, there's no official data. So the way that we do it, also differently at Moovit when there's no official data, is through the community the community of editors, and the community of people that are helping us. That's some of the stats that we've got. Like we've had more than 21,000 editors working, more than 900 projects. They're distributed in 100 countries. We're actually working in places like Tehran, or we've launched in places like in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Just think about the outreach that you can get through that. And the beauty of all of this, and it's also very similar to what our colleagues, our friends at Waze do, is that it's through communities. Communities that you make them readily accessible tools of different kind. They map their cities, they send their feedback, and you can build that data, and you can launch in any type of country. Oops, sorry. The other factor that we try to do as well, and this is also, we are in a startup environment, we're very quick. We release approximately every 24 hours we release one city. This is an important factor, and it's part of our NDA. I mean, it's or LDNA, or however it's said in whichever language. But this is something that we do very thoroughly, and we're currently going to finish the year with like 1,000 cities, but that's also part of the startup and the way that we work and the celerity. An example as well of how we're impacting people's lives is we also work in, and this is also part of when we talk about smart cities and urban planning, transit planning. This is a good example of what we did with Roma Mobilità in Italy. I don't know if there's any Italian over here. I cannot see anything, but I'm going to guess there are some Italians. I'm a quarter Italian, so I'm here. So we launched with Roma Mobilità during the canonization of two former popes 2 years ago, a partnership. So we basically gave real-time information to the more than 8 million people who came to Rome, and we helped them guide in real time where they needed to go, what type of public transportation they needed to take on real time. That was outstanding when it comes to transit planning and when it comes to the possibility of giving real-time information to these users so that they don't get lost. And the beauty is that if you make your product available in 35, or in our case, 38 languages, people from all around the world could have access to the product and also to the information. Let's go to Brazil. This is a case of in Metro Rio that was for the Olympics, that we helped them with a lot of information, creating, and apologies for the term, corridors, which is basically transit areas in the cities that people frequent the most. And we're sending and feeding that live information to the system through our app, and all the people who came managed to have access to accurate information in at least 5 languages. This is how we also think and we advocate in order to have that change, and how we want to help have those smart cities and those smart movements. That's us. I promised that I was going to be brief. Moovit, we currently have 30 million users in 750 cities, approximately in 60 countries, and we've already launched in 40 languages. Some people say that we're already the #1 public transportation app in the world. That's okay, but for me, the important points for today is, #1, we do believe in launching new cities using the community. We believe in a crowdsourced model. #2, the future is the limit when you listen to your user, when the user is involved, when the user is the one who decides what you want to do next. And let's say the #3, and very important, and it's also something that I've been personally discussing these last days also with our friend. How can we also help local transit authorities to improve transit planning? How we, from the private sector, can also share data anonymously so that we can also build better systems, and also how we can make better cities so that people can live even better. That's me, Alex Mackenzie Torres. It's a pleasure being here. I'm very happy to be in Finland. And if you've got any questions, we can talk later on. But thank you very much for listening. And we're going to pass to a different colleague now. Thank you.
You're all going to be able to make some questions during the panel, but one question for you.
Yes, sir.
You're a big player in transportation. How many cars do you have in Moovit?
We actually don't have any cars because we are
Nothing
focused.
physical.
That's a good question. We're focused at the moment on public transportation. That means here in Helsinki, you would have light tram, buses, all the public transportation data. It will be combined in the app. But we're not doing at the moment. We're not doing we're doing tax integration in 3 countries, but not here. And we're also prospecting with some of our partners, like with BMW is one of our investors. We may launch in the future the integration of car sharing that you guys may be aware of. I drive now, but that will be more in the future.
That's new. No physical
new.
means, but still a huge player.
Yes.
Okay.